Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to your last couple days of math. We just have today is the last section of chapter 12. Tomorrow I'll give you a review, and that's about it for you. So enjoy it while it lasts, guys. Today we're looking at coordinate plane circles, so we're going to be graphing circles. It's no big deal. Um, so here is the standard form for the equation of a circle. It is x minus h quantity squared plus y minus k quantity squared is equal to r squared, where h and k is the center point and r is the radius. So it looks confusing, but I promise you it's not. I'll show you here with these couple of examples following. So I'm gonna try and keep that equation up there just so you can see it. Now, notice in the formula it is minus h and minus k. So if my center is that, the first part is my h, the second one is my k, and then my radius, of course, is r. So what I have to do is plug it in the formula. So it's x minus h, which is 5, quantity squared, plus y minus k, which is negative 2. So minus negative 2 really makes plus 2 squared equals the radius squared, so 7 squared would be 49. So there is the standard equation of that circle. Nice and simple. Okay. Um, on number 2 here, the center is negative 2, 1, so that's my h and my k. Plug it in, it's going to be x plus 2 squared plus y minus 1 squared equals, what's the square root of 2 squared? Of course, 2. So there is the center point. Or I mean the circle equation. I don't know what I'm saying, center point. Okay, let's look at number 3. Now this time it says the center is 1, negative 3, and it passes through the point 2, 2. So they don't tell us what the radius is. So how do we figure that out? Well, what is a radius? A radius is from center to any point on the circle, right? Well, if this is the center and it goes through that point, from there to there would be a radius, right? So how do we figure out the length of that radius if we're given 2 points? And guess what? The distance formula comes back into play. Remember the distance formula? Square root of x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. Interesting, huh? It's always coming back. I think we learned that in chapter 1, and here we are still using it in chapter 12. Okay, so if this is my x1 and y1 and this is my x2 and y2, and I plug it into that formula, it goes pretty quick. 2 minus 1 squared plus 2 plus 3 squared. So that'd be 1 squared, which is 1. That would be 5 squared, which is 25. So the square root of 26 is my radius. I don't need to round it or anything because I'm going to end up squaring it anyway with my equation of a circle formula. So my formula x minus my center point squared plus y minus my center point squared equals my radius squared, 26. So there you go. That's how you do it. Pause the video here. Try 4. See if you can knock that one out. All right, let's say you did. The distance is x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. So that would be negative 5 squared, so that would be 25. And that would be negative 2 squared, which is 4. So my radius comes out to be the square root of 29. Plug it into the formula. X minus 4 squared plus y minus 3 squared equals 29. And there's your equation of the circle. Simple, simple. All right. Find the center and radius of a circle in standard form. Okay. All right, so we're going to name the center and radius of each graph, and we're going to graph the circle. Simple, simple stuff. So to do that, what would be the center? Well, remember, it's the opposite of these points. So the center is going to be positive 7, negative 2. And if my equation has this a 64 over there, the radius is going to be the square root of that number. Square root of 64, of course, 8. So nice and easy to graph. So we're going to start at 7, -2, so that's to the right 7, and down 2. And then from there, our radius is 8. So what I do is I go up 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I go left 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I go down 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then I would go right 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, somewhere about there. And if I were at school where I have my compasses, I would use my compass to draw my circle. But I don't have them here, so just do your best to draw a circle through those points. This is probably not going to be very good. Well, I had a divot or something. That's weird. Gross. On my math lab, there's a circle tool. It'll draw it for you. Great. That's a terrible circle. Let's see if I can do better on this one. What's my center point? 2, 3. And what's my radius? 10, right? So right 2, up 3. And then my radius, I can go down 10. I can go left 10. I can go right 10. And I can go up 10, somewhere around about there. So it would look like this. Oh, wow, what a circle. A little bit better. Here we go on the back. Non-perfect squares. What do you do there? You approximate, right? Oh, and what's this? What's my center point? There's no numbers. What's the numbers for those? 0, 0 is my center point. What's my radius? It's the square root of 4, which is 2. That one I might be able to figure out. 2, 2, 2, 2, circle. Not bad. All right, next one. What's the center point? -1, 0. What's the radius? The square root of 8. So we'll need an approximation for that one. I'm going to pull out my calculator here, type in the square root of 8. It's about 2.8. Okay, so I can start at -1, 0, and I'm going to go up 2.8, so that's almost 3. I'm going to go right 1, 2.8. I'm going to go down 1, 2.8, and I'm going to go left 1, 2.8. And then I'll do my best to draw the circle. Neat. Okay. Find the center and radius of a circle by completing the square. So this brings us back to our algebra days. You probably don't remember how to complete the square, so I'll show you how to do it. It's not too hard. So what we're going to first do is we're going to rearrange our terms in order. So we want to put our x squared and our x term together, leave a gap, and then we're going to put our y squared and our y term together, leave a gap, and then it's going to be equal to 16. So completing the square is a process of making what's called a perfect square trinomial, and you do that because it factors very easily into one of those parentheses with the square, which gives you that standard form of an equation of a circle. So we can do this with any equation. So, most of your equations aren't going to be all pretty and look like the circle by itself. This is what you're going to see more likely. So to complete the square, it's very simple. You look at the number that's attached to the x or to the y. We'll do them separately. And you half it and square it. So what's half of 4? 2. And then you square that, 4. And then you add that. If I add 4 to one side of the equation, I have to add 4 to the other side of the equation. And we'll do the same for the y part. So what's half of 8? And we don't worry about the negative because we square it anyway. It's going to end up being positive. So what's half of 8? 4. What's 4 squared? 16. So we add 16. If I add 16 to the left side of the equation, I have to add 16 to the right side of the equation. So these factor very easily, very quickly. It factors to the square root of the first term, which is x, this sign, plus, and then the square root of that term, which is 2, we just had it, squared. Simple, right? The other one, again, same thing. I'll do it again. So plus the square root of y squared, y, this symbol, minus the square root of 16, 4, quantity squared. And look at that. It's starting to look like the equation of a circle. On the right side, we just have a little bit of math to do. 16 and 16 makes 32, and 32 plus 4 is 36. How neat is that? So what's the center? -2, 4. What's the radius? 6. And now we can graph it. How cool is that? That's pretty neat. 2, 4, and then down 6, right 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Up 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And left 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Do your best to draw a circle. Hopefully you can do better than I can. And boom, done. We can do this last one together, or you can pause the video and try it yourself if you feel comfortable with it. First thing you're going to do is rewrite it in the correct order. X squared and 6x, leave a gap. Y squared and 2y, leave a gap, equals 6. Okay, what's half of 6 squared? Half of 6 is 3, squared is 9. Half of 2 is 1, 1 squared is 1. Add it to both sides, right? Factor it very quickly. The square root of x squared is x. This symbol, square root of 9, is 3. Square root of y squared is y. That symbol, square root of 1, is 1. 6 and 9 and 1 make 16. So what's the center? Negative 3, 1. What's the radius? 4. Plot that real quick. Negative 3, 1. And then left 4, up 4, down 4. Get them all. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, sweet. Do your best to draw a circle. Neat. Oh, you can't even see that. Sorry, I wasn't paying attention to where my screen was. Okay, cool. That's it for circles. That last part can be a little tough, so if you need help, reach out. I'll help you. See you later. Have a good couple last days, guys. Peace out.